What is spirituality and is it important? Hey, what's up? My name is Excel and I teach you how to talk to the universe. So, oftentimes when you have a spiritual awakening, you think that you have to become spiritual so you can stay on this path, but that's actually not really true. Spirituality technically doesn't exist, it's an idea that we created to help us understand how the universe operates. But even the definition of spirituality is super limited because you don't have to be a spiritual person to use the law of attraction, manifestation, and even bend reality. And I don't know about you, but I've met plenty of people who don't believe in any of these things, but somehow they're attuned to the laws of the universe and they get whatever they want. So, one of the major misconceptions is that you have to be spiritual to continue to activate your psychic abilities, to manifest, and to create the life that you're really looking to create. But in reality, everything boils down to consciousness, and this is a 6D version of how you can start really amplifying all of your spiritual abilities without subscribing to spirituality. Just in case you don't know anything about like the different levels of dimensional consciousness, 3D is when you're still trying to figure it out, the universe is happening to you, and then eventually you start believing in something. 4D is when you start seeing that your belief systems are actually bringing results back to you, whether it is that you believe in God, you believe in the universe, or something else. 5D, you start understanding that everything is co creating with your own authenticity. So that the more authentic you are, the more you step into your soul vibration, and then things end up manifesting as a byproduct. And then when you get to 60, you end up understanding that there are definitions that don't actually exist. Like we use words to classify things in the world, but those things don't actually need to have that definition. So let's use this as an example. Most people would say that this is a hat, but other people could come over and call it a cap or a different definition. Fundamentally, this is the same thing, regardless if we call it hat or spirituality. The word itself is only giving us some framework to define what this is, but even if we didn't have a word or a definition for this, it would still function the same exact way. And this is why some people subscribe to the law of attraction. That works for them, but manifestation doesn't. And some people subscribe to quantum jumping, but manifestation doesn't work for them, right? Fundamentally, if you truly understood what it was about, you would know that all the processes fall under the same definition or the same force that then we call a cap, a hat, etc. So in a nutshell, you don't need spirituality to continue being super powerful, developing your psychic abilities, talking to your spirit guides, stuff like that, because fundamentally your spirit guides don't have a form of spirituality. They're working through the lens that you're looking at, which is called spirituality. And if you're super religious or you've been already working with these types of frameworks of being like super spiritual, I'm not saying you have to abandon them, but I am going to highlight that they are a limitation at some point in your journey. And the thing is, when people see that spirituality becomes a limitation, it's a natural thought to think like, oh my God, I'm straying away from God. Maybe I'm becoming too egotistical or some other negative vibration that steps in, kind of trying to convince you not be spiritual. But if the universe is mental and everything is created based off of our mind and the way that we perceive things, if you just see yourself as saying, hey, I've been spiritual for a certain amount of time and it has worked for me, but now I'm choosing to connect with the thing that is classifying the word spirituality. I'm going to connect to the thing that comes before spirituality itself. That's where you really start pulling out the secret sauce. That's where you're going to start really tapping into really advanced magic, really advanced ways of manipulating reality, and so much more. Spirituality is commonly used as a way for us to just kind of walk into the structure of the universe and knowing that there's good, there's bad, but fundamentally it's just the cosmos, it's the universe. And just like when you explore different forms of sciences, you end up seeing that the universe is cut up into atoms, into quarks, into stardust, into light frequencies. You see it in vibrations, you see it in all these different formats. So spirituality is just one of those many formats that you could use. If you just wanted to bend reality by connecting just to atoms or connecting just to vibration or just to frequency, you could do that just like you could just manipulate reality by being super spiritual. But there is a limit to any subscription that you have. If you subscribe specifically only to spirituality, spirituality will eventually cap out and you're going to wonder, why can I attain more? And this is just something that's taken me literally over 20 years to really realize. I used to be a super spiritual person. Everything I did was in the name of spirituality. And it wasn't because I was religious or anything. I did grow up in that kind of like background as well, like a very religious structure. But I always felt spirituality was this concept that was the vehicle for me to communicate with the cosmos. Without spirituality, I could not talk to the cosmos. And at some point in my life, I had to realize that that was a major limitation. Spirituality was not the vehicle for me to connect to God. Spirituality was an idea that God created for anyone who could not vibrate at that awareness of beyond spirituality. And if you think about the process of ascension, first you start off at 3D, everything's happening to me. 4D, things are happening with me. 5D, things are happening because I'm in alignment with my most authentic self. 6D is nothing that we are using to define the universe actually exists. That means God has no specific rules on how you can manifest yourself fully. And remember, I only use the word God because it's really easy to get to, but switch out that word with the cosmos, universe, your spirit guides, your higher self, the quantum field, whatever. I definitely change the framework of what I work with. Sometimes I work with God, sometimes I work with the universe, sometimes I use the quantum fields because those perceptions unlock very specific powers that I can dive deeper into later. It's like using a photo app versus a video app. And even though I really want to go deeper into this right now for this video, I think this is just really good reminder for you to not be so limited in thinking that you have to be spiritual to get what you want. You can easily just choose to become friends with the universe or friends with the frequencies or allow the frequencies to embody your reality and show you that they're forces of nature. You can work with the forces of nature and not be spiritual. You understand what I'm saying? Don't forget to press that subscribe button. It's a free and easy way to support the channel and it helps us grow. I would really love to hit 100K followers in the next 12 months. That'd be amazing if you could help me do it. And if you're looking to work with me one-on-one, links are going to be in the descriptions below, just like my Patreon and the Antojai Quantum Reiki Tarot deck. It's the last tarot deck you're ever going to need. It's a tarot, oracle, hybrid, and spellbook, all in the same function. It has been called the most accurate tarot in the world. So if you don't got one, you need to get one right now because it's going to completely change the game for you. And I put a lot of work and love into it. So if you want to really support the craft that I've spent 10 years working on just so that you don't ever have to worry about buying a million other decks, please buy it. That'd be super helpful. I'll catch you tomorrow. I'm sending you all love. Antojai.